Hi Pisces, it's good to see you. My name is Chandler Christine. This is your March 2019 intuitive energy reading. I have my goddess cards here. We're going to pull one for you just to kick off the reading. I hope you guys have had an amazing February. I didn't see you in February. I actually took a month off from readings. Had some personal changes to attend to. We actually moved. So that ended up taking up a bunch of my time, but I was thinking of you guys and I was excited to get back, so here I am and here we are. Hopefully you guys have received some abundance from the universe. Last month was a very lucky and supportive month. There could be a lot of changes going on in your life even still, and I hope to help you along with this transitional energy that we're feeling still from the eclipse season. We have quite a few interesting dynamics going on with the stars and astrology. We'll be covering some of that. But for the most part, Pisces, I feel like this birthday month is going to be just amazing for you. I think that you're going to be overcoming a lot of restrictions. You're going to be breaking through barriers, really honing in and finding your center, tuning in, tapping in, turning on. Pisces will be undeniable this month, and I truly feel that. Very feminine and spiritual energy, of course. Anytime we talk about Pisces, we kind of have a hard time really nailing what you're about because you're so otherworldly. I think that your energy is just one of the more exciting energies, especially since I'm a very spiritual person myself, and I love tarot and new agey things and my meditation and my practice, and your energy just fits in so well with the things that I'm into. So all of that is going to be inflated this month, of course. That's going to feel really good. You're going to feel really centered and right at home with what you're doing. It seems like something has been brewing for you for some time. My goddess cards are a little indecisive. There was 3 or 4 cards that came out, but I want to wait for just that one card that is specifically for you. But nonetheless, when my cards act slow like this, I tend to think, all right, somebody's been toiling diligently with a change. Somebody's been thinking about something, maybe waiting up on making a decision for that clarity and for that divine synchronicity to happen in their life, to show them this undeniable way for them. But maybe that can come to you in Pisces season. I think what you're going to be doing in Pisces season is creating space, getting clarity, making decisions, and then once Aries season and the spring equinox arrives, we're going to be asked to go for it, to do it, to handle it, to take responsibility. We get the green light. We're springing forward. So that's going to be really fun. Rebirth and new beginnings. But until then, we may need to clear and sort out of some stuff as well. Again, we're going to be redefining ourselves, clearing away restrictions, dropping borders, breaking through barriers. All right, so I'm going to cut the deck, and I'm just going to pull one from the top for you, Pisces. Athena, beautiful. I love this card. Okay, so knowledge. Now, Pisces, if you're still struggling with a decision or with this transitional energy, you feel very uprooted right now. It looks like you're going to be put back into your center of knowing. One thing that I love about Athena is she's very intellectual, but she does not lose her femininity, her divine connection, her purpose through thought. It's not necessarily thinking, although she is very mentally capable of digesting information. It springs from her inner knowing, her innate nature, to find that which speaks to her. So I think that this is a really strong month for you. I think you're going to be springing forth with new knowledge. I think you're going to be coming from this mental confusion or even disillusion with much more awareness of self, experience of your challenges and wisdom from the heart. This is a really, really good sign. So let's look at my mystical shaman deck here for you. I think that this may bring more insight as to how you're going to feel this month. One thing I will say is Athena is the 5th card in the deck. So this represents to me that there is some really positive change going on in your life. We have magic, okay? So how perfect for you, Pisces? How perfect is this alchemy happening in your life? You know, you guys are so powerful when you're in your element. And it simply takes the right elements, right, to create this magic and to create the elements of alchemy. What I will say with magic is that it may seem magical the way these things happen for you. You're in such a divine and spiritual space that there may not be very much reason or rhyme to what's happening other than this mysticism, this divine alchemy, and this interdimensional shift that has taken place in your life, and you may not even realize it until after it's occurred. But afterwards it will feel like magic. This is the number 33, okay? So very powerful number of Trinity, synchronicity, divine right timing, and God's work in your life. So be prepared for some amount of shift and power to come to you, to enable you to make these decisions, to transfer yourself, to transform yourself, and to transcend whatever kind of situation you were otherwise feeling stuck in, potentially. I think we're all feeling a little bit of this eclipse energy still, and that is still transforming aspects of our lives. So let's see what kind of transformations you're making this month. This is my Osho Zen, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for tuning in again, and it's good to see you. You probably don't recognize these cards from my previous readings, but given all the change and all the transitional energy, of course, the eclipse season and the spring equinox coming up, it just feels right to bring forth new messages. So the Creator and past lives. Wow. Really cool. Okay, so this is that interdimensionality that we were talking about. With the Creator, we can see here that you are having a strong focus on being the co-creator of your reality. And maybe that's giving you a little bit of a magical essence this month. You realize that you do have power of persuasion over the elements around you, over the, the factors in your life. This is very grounding. This is very real and tangible. In fact, I think it's a very responsible card, actually. It's a card of inner and outer responsibility, being the influence over your life that you wish to see and being the change you wish to see. This gives you the momentum, this gives you the clarity, this gives you the right to move forward in whatever way you choose to do so. Now, with past lives, it looks like you're karma clearing quite a bit with this as well. With these loose ends being tied up, maybe there are some restrictions, maybe there are some barriers and blockages that you are now realizing with this spiritual essence, kind of having an openness to the kind of karma and influence you've been feeling either victim to or influenced by, that you're now able to take into your own hands, that you're actually able to realize and understand on a deeper level. Remember, knowledge is coming to you. Now, this is no lighthearted card whatsoever. Athena is one of the most powerful goddesses and influences in my life, and I have a deep respect for Athena, as she oftentimes opens my eyes in ways that I could have never imagined when she is an influence in my life. So where you receive knowledge is also where you receive clarity. And this clarity is groundbreaking for you, as it ties in a lot of questions you've been having recently over the projections of your life and over the kind of direction that you've been going in. What things have been influencing you? Well, it looks like you have commitments from previous lives, whether that be in relationship to another, right? Karmic commitments and contracts being finalized, or whether that's simply lessons that you have so far overcome challenges that you've learned by simply taking the responsibility and becoming creator of your life. I think that this is a really good sign here that this cycle that you are entering and exiting, Pisces, is going to be a beautiful one, and we need to remember that every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And that's the way of life, that's the way of cycles, that's the way of our daily lives. And the more in tune we can get of this cyclical nature, the more you can really get in touch with your nature and with yourself. So as you become more of the creator of your destiny, you'll be finding some more responsibilities, some more challenges, but to say the least, victimization and stagnancy are nowhere in your reading so far. Okay, so this is a really good month for you. Going with the flow, Pisces, I love it. Okay, so obviously you have a watery essence. This is a very watery card, but it does have to do with emotional reciprocity, breaking through those barriers and blockages that were otherwise kind of stifling for a while, right, Pisces? You were feeling stifled. Now is the time to let everything go. Release how you feel. Release, the ties, the blockages, the burdens, the heavy weightedness, and simply let the universe show you what it has in store for you. There is something coming to you that can't come to you until you start to release the otherwise unwanted. Okay, and that's just the simple nature of the universe. We've got to be in the flow, so you've got to release certain things in order to receive. This is open-ended, so what we say here is it's not necessarily one thing you're going to receive. It could be life-altering in many ways. Getting in touch in the flow state will help you express your creative talents and your interests. It will help you get more emotionally connected with the people that are in your surroundings, whether that be social or romantic relationships. On March 1st, we do have Venus entering Aquarius, so this is going to be bringing in some unconventional people in your life. Now, this could be having some kind of tie here with past lives. Some people could be entering your life that feel very familiar, though they may seem super different to you. They're intriguing in some way, shape, or form. And this, could have a resonance too with people otherwise who have come in your life, who in this previous cycle of yours were unconventional, and people that you wouldn't necessarily be into or, but that cycle is coming to an end. So there are new beginnings and there are endings kind of like intertwined in all of this. But this is to say here, your awakening process, the things that you have been awakening to and the things that you will awaken to yet to come, are requiring you to think differently, to act differently, and to, honestly embody what you're about. So, Mercury goes retrograde in the month. And since it's in your sign, I would say, to listen very carefully if you're asking the universe questions, or if you're asking for guidance. It's, not the right thing to maybe look to someone else for advice. You're going to be getting a lot of spiritual information. You're going to be getting a lot of intuition and downloads. And, people in your social circle may have a difficult time finding that advice for you. They may give you the wrong impression, or you may misunderstand them, or these things can happen during Mercury retrograde. So be careful of what kind of advice you take, and listen very carefully to that inner voice, because that's going to be the most influential voice for you this month. You have a new moon in your sign, which is, of course, creating this new beginning for you. You're wrapping up and finalizing so many finer details of your past that it will feel like a entirely new cycle is starting for you. You're starting on this blank slate as the creator of your reality, and you have potentially already gone through an awakening, which puts you in a different place than you ever have been before. You're dealing with things differently. You're being a little bit more unconventional than usual. Your Uranus is entering Taurus on the 6th, which I think is going to be creating maybe some friction over your future. You're going to be thinking more long term, and in order to do this without being so stubborn, you're going to have to be in the flow. Okay, and I think that's a very strong indication here that you are on the right path, that you have accomplished so much within the last few months, that there are no real difficult tasks this month, and there's no real rigidity in your energy, so that's like perfect for this kind of energy that we're receiving from the stars. Once Aries takes a hold in our energy, we're going to be getting the green light to go for something. Whatever kind of creative pursuits are brewing, whatever kind of relationships are brewing, whatever things are being finalized, or whatever you're in the midst of creating, something will inevitably manifest in Aries season. So be prepared for that. All you need to do is set yourself up and create the space to get going once that spring equinox sets into our energy. That's when the day and night all around the planet is in equal proportion. So things are going to be moving forward in a graceful way, springing forth, springing into action. New beginnings and rebirth abound. Okay, and then at the end of the month we have full moon in Libra, which is talking about opposites, how opposites attract, and finalizing those unconventional relationships that are no longer serving you in your life and in your energetic field. So, if you have an inclination, to either remember or think of this person in your past who you probably have had past lives with, who has greatly impacted your direction and your overall navigational system, somebody who has had great influence over you. They may have thought outside the box. You're separating yourself, but taking the lessons, right? And that's what this full moon in Libra really represents, is how opposites attract, and that without the contrary, there can be no progress. And that you're going to be putting more energy into your long-term relationships while letting go of those relationships that no longer have anything for you to learn from. Maybe there are relationships that are past life relationships that are coming up that may be enticing, or you may have still some connection with. But if there's nothing left to learn from them, then and that's that inner knowing of letting go and finalizing those relationships for good. So then at the end of the month, Venus enters Pisces, and this is allowing you to forgive and understand these relationships. This is allowing you to emotionally feel more vulnerable and open to the universe yet again. Okay, where you may have not felt that for a while, and these messages are coming through your intuition and visions. Meditation and prayer is going to take a new importance this month. But with that being said, this is the overall energy. These are really great cards to begin with. I want to get going on my Dreams of Gaia tarot deck, just to see if we can't drum up more information for you, okay? So, again, we have past lives, right? Past lives, the creator, and going with the flow. These are very powerful cards for you, and I feel very excited for what you are beginning. I feel very excited for this new cycle in your life, this new year in your personal journey. Okay, so we have King of Air, intuition, Six of Water, and faith. Okay, so what have we been saying, Pisces? We've been saying here, there's some character from your past. This could be an Aquarius. We talk about unconventional thinking. In your social circle, this could be a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. And all of these air signs have influence in your month, as you have a full moon in Libra, Venus enters Aquarius, and then at the end of the month, Mars enters Gemini. This is going to help you understand here the connections that you've had with your past life lovers and past life relationships. How they have come into your life and for what reason. The reason behind this is seemingly more justified than ever, as where you stand is in much better position to understand and to be discerning about the relationships outside of maybe being so impacted by the emotions. It's much more of the observer mentality in this respect. And this is coming through in your intuition. We can see that you may have even had intuition about this person. How they may have played you a fool, or maybe they had a very unjustified role in your life. You may have felt victim for some time, as I see you giving them a lot and them kind of raising themselves on the social ladder and not quite paying it back to you. So this is the karmic debt that we're talking about. Maybe you have felt a bit taken advantage of. This is all coming through in your intuition. This is all coming through for the reason that it happened in your life. And that's to be bringing you back to your faith, to be bringing you back to your spirituality. Maybe this person had an influence in your awakening. And I'm just going to say it. They could have awakened before you, and that's not to say that you're inferior in any way, shape, or form. But if this awakening happened before you, it's simply that you were living in an illusion and they were just one step ahead. And that's not to say that you are inferior, right? We're talking about your spiritual journey. They could be a bit older than you. They could have had their awakening first, but regardless, you caught up. And in a very dramatic way, you're catching up and are receiving a lot of power all at once. So this is kind of the catalyst I'm seeing. This is that cycle that's finalizing and being understood and forgiven within you. You have reached such a pinnacle in your spirituality that I feel right now is a ripe time to finalize those energetic cords and understand the reason behind these past unconventional relationships, right? So let's get some more information on the creator. Aha! 10 of air. You're entering into a new cycle altogether, Pisces. Everything that you've been feeling, maybe for the last 7 or 8 years, is coming to a close. Now, I got the impression that unconventional people have been brought to you over the past decade. Now, if you can think back to those characters and how they've set you on course or potentially off course, now you are in such a ripe position that you get to discern what kind of cycle you actually move into. You have so far become the creator of your reality. And with that power, you're able to really discern what kind of lessons and what kind of chapter you want to enter into. And I think that that's a beautiful analogy here for whatever a day your birthday lands on. In fact, this is the birthing, this is the rebirth and initiation into some more purposeful cycle in your life that is much more individually oriented. It's not so much about relationships. It's not so much about who burned who or who did what. That thing is neither here nor there, as you seem to have much more potential and much more focus for what you truly desire. Not only that, but you're awake. You're awake. And therefore, I feel like you are unstoppable. You know, you have this power behind you. You have this momentum behind you for creation. Okay, so going with the flow, again, we're getting this reiteration for you Pisces who may still be connected to a next lover or maybe twin flame relationship. This could run very deep, as it does seem like it's a long cycle. But with the 5 of water, we see some really deep emotions. Someone was very brokenhearted, or someone who was very disappointed over the outcome of whatever relationship this was. Now, it's not to say whose fault it was or why it happened. It's just simply to say that you can't stay here any longer, Pisces. You've got to let it go. You've got to give it up, give it to the universe. Because if you don't let this go, if you don't create some amount of energetic change in your life, the universe really can't give you what you truly desire. And it's not going to say what it has in store for you. It's not going to do that. It's not going to show you everything that you desire before you take the leap of faith and leave this behind you. You have to take the leap of faith first, and then you will see the results. So, you know, whatever is in your past is in your past. Let it stay there. You need to move forward now, Pisces. You need to be strong. You need to be aware of yourself and go with the flow. It's going to be easy, Pisces. It's going to be so much easier and way better than I think that you can even imagine now. right? So Venus entering Pisces is going to help you forgive and understand. I think this is really aligned with that kind of energy. Mercury goes direct again in your sign, and that allows you to direct your emotions, your dreams, your visions, your intuition. Logic here is not very important, right? You're just going to know these things. You're going to have Athena backing you with that inner wisdom and knowledge. That does not need to be justified. That does not need to be understood by anyone else but yourself, right? And when Mars enters Gemini, your interests become more diversified. You finally realize that there's so much more to expound upon in your life. And you're becoming more adaptive to change. You're much more flexible in that way. And you're able to really commit yourself to a lot more than you were before. So you tend to take on quite a few interests in that in April for Aries season. I think that this is a really beautiful energy for you. I've been seeing 25, 25, 24, 24, and 333 on the clock here as we are talking. And so those numbers are specific for you. You do have 3-3 here with the magic essence. And what else? I mean, Pisces, this is just great. I think really this is such an optimistic energy for your new year. I wish you so much luck. Tune in next time to see what April holds for you. Is whatever you are creating now is bound to spring up. It's bound to manifest in your life. And I'm quite interested in what actually transpires for you. Good luck in the month of March, Pisces. Happy birthday, and I'll see you next time. Bye.